going to be. But truly, I spend most of my time on Reddit.
You okay? You drop that? It's okay.
There's a whole salad down there.
Just don't let mango over.
Well, don't say her name.
Oh, sorry.
I even dropped a sauce packet. Oh, this taco is fragile. Like my heart. Do you guys see that? It just... well...
Yeah, that's one thing. Why is their taco so fragile, though? You know?
Breakfast Supreme Crunchwraps.
Is it good?
It's so good.
It looks very good.
You're gonna love it. So Reddit mysteries are very intriguing. It's honestly kind of like having these mini unsolved mysteries because technically most of them don't get solved. A lot of them are up for debate, mainly also because you are talking to the person themselves. So if they admit to committing a crime or kind of hint in it some way, which we'll get into something like that today, but then suddenly they take it back and they say, oh, well, I never did that. How can you really believe that that ever happened? How can you really believe it? And so a lot of the times, because you are talking to a lot of the parties that are directly involved, you don't really know if something's been solved. And they've got a lot of fascinating, just dark shit over there. So the first thing that we're going to start with is by the name of Iceman Throwaway, okay? That was his account name. Now, for a throwaway, he actually had a lengthy Reddit history, which it's not the lengthiest as it can be, but for a throwaway account, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it's pretty lengthy. He had a 5-month history of posting on all these different subreddits that a lot had to do with gaming. So none of it really had to do with anything, you know, criminal, anything RBI related or no sleep or anything creepy that would suggest that this guy is all up in the Reddit creeps. Like, he likes reading about shit like this. I'm gonna try a Cinnabon. I feel like nothing's saucy enough today.
This is saucy.
Okay, this is a potato griller. Actually, I'm gonna go in with this beefy Frito. This is good. This is really good.
This is the best. The breakfast one.
This is my first time having their breakfast thing, I think. Really good. And he decided to post to a subreddit on July of 2019. Now, the subreddit that he decided to post on is called Too Afraid to Ask. Now, this subreddit is not one that I frequent too often, only because it's a lot of controversial questions on there. One of the questions was, why are people offended when you say colored people, but saying people of color is almost like an empowering term that politicians use?
Instead of color people?
Colored people. They were saying it sounds so similar. Why would you be offended by one similar saying and not the other? And so they ask a lot of questions, sometimes questions about race and stuff and racism, and it's just very controversial. But so far from the entire subreddit, I feel most of the people have good intentions. Like, nobody asked these crazy controversial questions just so they could rile people up. They just genuinely want to be informed. And usually people will inform them very, very nicely in the comments, and then they'll get a better perspective. This one Redditor posted on that subreddit asking a very, very intriguing question. But before we get into the question, I kind of have to set the background for you. And it was provided in context of his post. I live in this very small town, and this small town has a lot of old people. And I don't really have a lot of people that I can ask in this town about this, but it's a very suburban area. And like a lot of suburban areas, the economy was not booming at the time. And so a lot of these retail shopping centers, after a couple months, they'd close down. After a couple more months, they'd close down, and they would just lose business. And one kept opening up after another. When all of a sudden, a lot of them closed down, and within a month, 12 of the same identical stores popped up.
Like 15 Walmart? 12 Walmart?
Like 12, but they were all small name brands. And it's very strange because they're not just identical in the sense that, you know, they're all hair salons or they're all nail salons. They were saying it almost seems like they got their signs, their logos, and their names all from the same board shop, the people that do all the store signs. And it's all a variation of each other. Like, one could be called, let's say it's Taco Bell Town, it'd be Taco Bell Town Market. And then the other one would be Market of Taco Bell Town. And when he walked into a couple of them, he noticed that all of them kind of had an identical floor plan and sold the exact same things at the exact same prices as one another.
Okay.
It wasn't like one was more competitive than the other, and most of the times it looked like there was not strong business in any of the 12 identical stores. One day he decides to go into one of the stores and just purchase some food items. So mind you, what's very interesting about these stores is that he said that when he walks in, the main thing that they sell are great value items. Now if you don't know, Great Value is the store brand of Walmart. So it's almost like selling Kroger brand at a random store, but with a massive markup. So it's not even like you're selling hot Cheetos at a pricier price. You're selling Walmart goods from Walmart for more.
So why couldn't it just be a big developer who opened up all these shops?
But why would they?
Because they want to take over this whole economy in this town.
But Walmart's so much cheaper.
Is there a Walmart? But people go to convenience store for convenience. They don't want to drive all the way to Walmart. They want to go to this little store whenever they want and pick up something. They don't mind paying a little more.
Okay, you're gonna get stumped at the next thing then. Ready?
Okay.
So he goes in and he purchases some food items. He checks out, realizes a couple things are weird. You have to use cash under $50 for any purchase under $50, which is very strange for a convenience store.
That's very high.
It's very high.
Yeah, how many people carries $49
Yeah,
in
exactly.
cash?
Convenience stores, I mean, you're not going to be racking up the bills by adding chocolate candy bars.
Yeah, you just buy a soda.
Exactly. And these days, I mean, this was July of 2019. It wasn't like many, many years ago where maybe not everyone accepted credit cards. People just thought it was strange. He thought it was strange. And he said, okay, so I went in and I bought my groceries and then I came home and I was going to make a sandwich. I opened up the bread loaf and inside the middle of the bread loaf, the bread was literally turning the shade of green. Like green lettuce green. And so he's like, this is absolutely disgusting. This is the most overpriced, moldy ass bread that I have ever seen in my entire life.
So they got vegetable in the bread already?
Yeah. That's why it's expensive. It's like a Whole Foods on crack. He looks at the expiration date of the bread and realizes it's friggin' 2 weeks overdue, expired. And so he's like, what the hell is going on? He goes back into the store to return the little bread loaf, and then he starts kind of snooping around and he looks at the dairy section and realizes all of the milk in the dairy case are months expired, which is absolutely disgusting. Who comes into this store? And so he just thought that he would avoid it for a little while. He avoided it, but the strange thing is, like he mentioned recently, a lot of the stores have been in and out of closing. But now these stores, all 12 of them, are staying longer. They have massive square footage. They have a ton of employees.
But who the hell is shopping here?
He just thinks it's so strange. And every time he goes in, all of the employees stare him down. Not even in like a, ooh, I wonder if that's our first customer that's going to buy something, but kind of almost in a threatening way.
Like, don't buy anything?
Yeah.
That is very creepy.
Now, at this point, a lot of people have a lot of questions. Where do you live? Where is this town located? Does the police know about it? Do the governors know about it? Why don't you talk to your neighbors about it? Why don't you talk to other people about it? And he pretty much mentions he lives in a really small town where there's a lot of old people. It's almost like a retirement city. And so he feels like, really, I don't really have a lot of friends. I haven't really been able to ask. And I'm sure there's something about it that's just inherently creepy.
Did he give the location? Oh.
And so people come up with a lot of different theories. The first being money laundering. So did you guys know money laundering comes from the turn of laundromats? Because that's where it started. So a lot of people who started money laundering by opening up stores as a storefront to push their money through, they would open up laundromats because that'd be a lot of change, that'd be a lot of cash that could go unaccounted for. Or that you could, say that you got this cash, but how could they really track it down, right? It's a laundry machine. They opened a lot of laundromats called money laundering, right? Well, not called, but thus called money laundering.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are like, I wonder if it's some sort of money laundering where people are opening up these stores and you know, maybe someone's buying something, maybe they're not, maybe they're just like hustling money in and out of the place. Some people said maybe it's a human trafficking ring, and behind the store they are selling other goods that are not food products, and it's illegal to go into, I mean, it's just very sketchy. Like, let's say if you have the police department watching your every single move, it's incredibly sketchy to go into random people's houses, because a lot of the times you think that the house is the most private place to do whatever activity that you probably don't want other people knowing about. But if you are going in and out of houses, the first thing police think is it's a drug deal. Everything's kind of a drug deal. And so if you were to go into a store, it kind of looks like you're just buying groceries. And if you walk out with like a bag full of expired goods that they think is not expired, technically it just looks like you bought some groceries. And so some people were saying that. But one that I thought was very